Hello everybody, this is Purge bringing you guys a first-person replay commentary. This is a game that I played 2 or 3 days ago, and I thought it was a really good video to upload, so here I am, going to be casting it for you guys. Or not casting it, but doing commentary. The last couple days I uploaded a lot of stream VODs, and for some reason I didn't feel like talking very much when I played those games, so sorry about the lack of commentary, but hopefully I can just puke my brain out really hard right now, and you guys can hopefully get the enjoyment out of that. So I actually play Enigma all the time, but I don't know, I checked YouTube I didn't try very hard to look for it, but I searched for Purge plays Enigma and I see one from 5 months ago. Maybe there was something more recent. I play this hero like at least once a week or something like that, but I thought I would cover him now. I really like him. He's one of my favorite heroes. I think he's a great jungling hero. He can grab farm really fast. He can get a what's it called? A Mekanism really rapidly. Oops, there we go. He can get a Mekanism really rapidly, and he can contribute to team fights. He's really good late game. He's good at ganking early. He's pretty good at ganking early. Just all around really strong hero, I think. He's good in pubs as well. I have a pretty high win rate with him, somewhere around like, I think last time I checked was like 68% or something like that, which is I think pretty good. Definitely way above 50. When I start him off, okay, this is apparently after TI. I think this is one of the first games I played when I got back to Korea. I'm back in Korea right now. If you guys haven't been up to date, or if you're new fans, thanks for watching. But I'm living in South Korea right now, and we're playing a part of Zephyr, our Dota team Zephyr, in the Korean Dota leagues. KDL Season 3 starts in about 3 days. I think we don't play till the 6th though, so we're gonna play on August 6th, Korean August 6th, which would be US August 5th, late nighttime. So if you guys want to watch and tune into those games, you can. Yeah, that's about it. If you guys already know about us and you're interested in supporting us, we have a lot of stuff that you could buy in-game and out-of-game as well. In-game you can buy our courier, which is really cool. I think it's only like $4 right now. It's the Zephyr courier. It's called a Royal Griffin Cub, I believe. You can search for that on the Dota 2 store if you're interested in purchasing it. We have a team pennant, so you can show off that it'll like increase the number of whenever you watch a game, there'll be pennants here and here, and you can see how many people are watching it. You can buy one of those. We're also selling Team Zephyr shirts still. They're on the Team Liquid store. Unfortunately, we only have them in North America, but I believe that can ship internationally if you're interested. So yeah, teamliquid.net I believe is where you purchase those if you're interested. And I think that's about all that I'm going to plug right now. Shout out to our sponsors, Twitch and Nixus, of course. Oh yeah, you can buy these cool Zephyr earbuds. I just have we have so many Zephyr things that you guys can buy if you're interested. So anyways, starting the game off, I always buy at least a courier or a ward, one or the other, since there's one less support hero since I'm a jungling hero. So it's good if you buy one or the other. I bought a courier here. This is one of my TI couriers that I got. It's pretty cool. I'm always, at the start of the game, I'm always going to deny a creep from either the mid lane or the off lane. And the reason you do this is because it gives them a bit of a safer lane. If you deny the off lane, then their lane only has 3 creeps instead of 4. And because it has 3 creeps instead of 4, that means it's not going to push as fast. I don't remember. Oh, this game, that's right. Okay. I was like, why am I going over here? Normally what I end up doing when you play Enigma is, the reason that you have the time to deny one of those creeps and go back and heal is because the neutral camps don't spawn until 30 seconds anyways. So usually you can deny a creep, run back, heal, and then you can get to this large camp here before they end up spawning, so you don't actually end up wasting any time. But the problem is that this game, we picked 4 of our heroes, and we're like, alright, Purple, pick a support, pick a support. He picks Razor. So we end up having 2 jungle heroes, and we have an anti-mage who's going to be versus a Weaver and a Lion, which is not good for him. And I was kind of thinking about doing some harass here. I was going to come around the back with the Eidolons and do some right click to try to give the anti-mage some space, because I thought there was a chance that I was going to be able to do some damage to the Lion here. I should have gone around the other way maybe, but I mean, going all in with the Eidolons, I really shouldn't have been feeding these. These are so much gold. They're like equivalent to a last hit every time. So that was probably a mistake to come in here and do this. What should have happened is we should have just basically set the anti-mage in his lane and said tough luck, have fun, and just gone off to farm. But the problem is that, again, we have a jungling Doom, and he's a solo anti-mage, and he's going to have a bad time. And that's just kind of the reality of this game. It's very rare that you end up having 2 jungle heroes like this, and it's unfortunate, but that's kind of how it works out. So what I'm doing right now is trying to micro Eidolons, and apparently I'm having a lot of trouble clicking, but if they're grouped up like that, it's kind of difficult to click on them. But what you should do is when they're low, you pull them back, and after some point they will end up spawning. And they were calling for missing here, I believe. They were like, I think he was typing like Weaver's missing, And I kind of just wanted to get these last hits. I didn't see that the Weaver was coming, and it was very stupid of me that I wasn't paying attention here, so that's going to be a first blood. That was really bad by me. When you're playing a jungling hero, especially when they have like an aggressive dual or offlane like this, you should be expecting them to come and gank you like this. It's going to happen, basically, and I should have reacted to it or at least been aware of it. And at the very least, what I should have been doing is watching my map and being like, oh, that's weird, the Weaver's gone. But I didn't do that. That was really stupid of me, so I ended up dying and paying for it. So Razor does kill the support Abaddon, though, or Abaddon. That's pretty good. And I'm just going to go back to farming. At this point, I mean, they were crying a lot, is the best way to describe it. They're saying, come defend me. Come support me, Enigma. It's like, dude, how am I supposed to... Enigma can't do that. That's the problem. Like, Enigma... And besides, it's way better for me to just jungle than it is for me to farm. I mean, the good thing is that, like, normally... Well, the issue is this, basically. Anti-Mage is going to get not much farm this game because he is contested by a dual lane. But Razor's got a triple kill, and because Razor has a triple kill, that means that Razor has the ability to make up for the farm that Anti-Mage is not getting. So, even if I don't necessarily... get defend the anti-mage, it's not the end of the world because it should allow our team should be able to compensate for this just by being just by basically farming everywhere else so hard. So that's what we're hoping to do basically. Lion is being very wise and pressuring us. I'm going to continue to pop clarity potions here and try to heal up. This is a very atypical Enigma start game. Most of the time you kind of just get an easy start where you automatically farm really fast. You get a soul ring really rapidly, and then later you get a mechanism and all this good stuff. So I'm not gonna... I think I'm gonna stop the spawn here. Yeah, I ended up blocking that. I didn't move my eidolons fast enough. I should have been prepared. Creep spawn at every 1 minute, so try to move your units outside of the range in time. His skill build is really bad. If you're playing a super defensive anti-mage, you should have at least one level of spell shield, especially if you're against a Weaver and a Lion. They both have magic damage. I didn't really, I guess he was going to die no matter what. But his skill build is horrible. If you're playing a dangerous lane, you should not be going this skill build. This is like, you have no chance of dying skill build. He should at the least go 1-1-1, and then stats is probably what he should be doing. He wouldn't be dying as much if he was doing that. Anyways, I finished up my camps. I'm running back to buy Soul Ring. Soul Ring is an absolute must-have on Enigma. There are games where some pro players will go for Arcane Boots instead of Soul Ring, but I'm not a huge fan of this. And again, since we don't actually have any support heroes, I'm buying Observer Wards, and I don't remember if I upgrade the Flying Courier, but I think I do eventually. But I need to put wards down because their supports and their Weaver are kind of roaming around and killing our heroes. And this also protects me. I don't know where I end up placing this ward, but I would guess that I place it somewhere right here. If I place it right here, it allows me to farm here fairly safely. Like, that's a dangerous camp to farm. Like, remember, Lion is standing from the high ground and attacking down. It's pretty dangerous. I also probably should have gone straight to drop wards instead of jungling this camp first, I think. I think that's a bit safer. I don't remember if I unmicroed that. I tried to, but those skeletons actually do a lot of damage. And I think I really lazily, yeah, I didn't do a very good job microing this game, that's for sure. And there we go. I'll get a flying right now, I think. So I did flying, I did courier, I did obs. So my farm's a little behind where it should be. And I also died once, and I'm farming kind of slow anyways. But the reason Soul Ring's so great is because you end up casting Demonic Conversion pretty much any time. Yeah, I did not put an Observer Ward there. You kind of end up casting Demonic Conversion every chance you get. And it costs 170 mana, and it has a 35-second cooldown. Well, Soul Ring's a 30-second cooldown, gives you 150 mana, and it gives you a little bit of HP regen. So before Soul Ring existed in the game, which is maybe like 2.5 years ago or something like that, when you'd play Enigma in the jungle, you'd always go Basilius first. And what Basilius does is it gives you 0.65 mana per second. Well, that's actually not enough to cast Demonic Conversion continuously. So when Soul Ring finally came out, it was a really nice buff to Enigma, because this is a hero that actually does need the mana, and it basically guarantees that you never run out. I mean, there's some times where you're going to have issues. I didn't even notice. He blocked that camp just now, but there are going to be times where you don't have enough mana when you're playing Enigma, but generally Soul Ring will solve most of those issues. It was a bit of a sloppy gank here. I don't think I really needed to approach unless I was trying to take a tower, which maybe I was, I guess. Pressuring a little bit is always good, especially when you're worried about other lanes. I took way too much damage from that tower, but I was able to kill the catapult. I pick up level 5. Always max out Demonic Conversion first. I strongly recommend this. You have to think of it like this. Some games Enigmas would be maxing out like Malefice or something like that. What is this skill build now? Anti-mage warrior, yeah. Rookie hero. Yeah, he got his ulti at level 6, but he should really have a spell shield and he should have stats levels. He's not right-clicking anything. There's no point to have mana break. That's his fault, in my opinion. If you grab Malefice levels extra early, you'd have more damage output, but the damage from this is actually not that great. The reason you level it up is the stun. It only does a maximum of, what, 70 times 3 damage? That's 210. That's pretty crappy for a level 4 nuke. It's mostly good because it stuns for 3 seconds over 6 seconds, which is great. But you grab Demonic Conversion because you can farm. Well, they actually blocked a lot of our camps this game. It's actually really smart of them to do this because it reduces... Wow, they actually blocked a lot of these camps. They said, oh, you guys have 2 jungling heroes? I guess we'll just block all your camps. Very smart by them, honestly. I'm going to put another Observer Ward down here because that'll protect the anti-mage. I basically want to create a circle around all the towers and things like that. That way our carries are a bit safer. Our ability to kill this Weaver is very unlikely here because I don't have any detection, but Doom's going around, and what we're trying to do is set up a Doom. So I'm just going to initiate here. He's going to panic, run away, and we're hoping to run him into our Doombringer. We don't know where he's going to be. And there he ends up being over to the left, and he gets doomed, and that should be a kill. He's going to pause because he's a dumbass, I guess, or something, but I knew that I didn't have detection, so we needed to scare him out. So he uses Sakuchi, and then we had Doom lying wait, ready to go. What a great mana void, right, guys? That anti-mage, man. This really annoyed me, because then he paused for us. He's like trying to like flame the Weaver, but then he interrupts me as well. I hate it when people pause the game for stupid reasons like that. Like I was also mad that he paused and stuff. I want to check something really quick, guys. Let's go back a couple seconds. Yeah, this is why he paused, because he knew he was gonna die. Look at this. What a motherfucker. He knew he was gonna die, so he checked his gold, and now he's figuring out how much he wants to spend. And now he's gonna buy things. There it is. What a piece of shit. That's called cheating, guys. Don't do it. And that's confirmation that he just cheated. What a piece of shit. That's so annoying. Like whenever I'm about to die, what I do is I open the shop fast and I try to buy, but if you pause, you get like 5 seconds to think it over. It's like really lame. It's really lame. Like that guy deserves to be reported for that, as far as I'm concerned. That's like super, super lame. You mad at a lame joke? Yeah, okay. We have the proof, asshole. So, anyways, please don't do that. I know I just showed a lot of people how to do that, but please don't do it. It's so lame, guys. It's so lame. Cheating is so lame. Alright, so, trying to finish a mech. I'm really behind where I should be in terms of farm, but again, they're blocking 3 of the 5 camps, so it decreases my possible farm. That makes it difficult to get items. They've also pressured a decent amount, so normally you won't have as much trouble with that, but when all these camps are blocked like this, it makes life hard. And I'm going to walk around and be like, oh, these camps are blocked, these camps are blocked, these camps are blocked. This one's about to be unblocked, this one's about to be unblocked, relatively. It's only a sentry, and the one down here is probably almost done as well. So I'll just move around, and I think I ended up muting my Storm because he was like being really obnoxious and stuff. Or I think he was like telling me what to do or something like that, and I just couldn't handle it. I was like, I just want to play Dota, I don't have to listen to this guy, so I just muted him. So, see what we get for spawns. Spawn my slowing just in case. This does last for 10 seconds, so I'm going to waste it here, but you can use it up to 10 seconds before you cast, so... And it's good to get it off on cooldown, and that's something that I realized when I was playing Darkseer a lot, is like, Darkseer as a hero, he usually casts Iron he always gets Soaring as well, but, Darkseer always casts Iron Shells as soon as he can, usually casts them a lot, and it's more often than a Soul Ring recipe, or Soul Ring can have cooldown, so if you're getting ready to cast an Iron Shell, just use the Soul Ring, because it gets it on cooldown, it means that the cooldown, when you need it, it might be up again, so always cast it a little faster, if possible, or always cast it in preparation. Alright, so I got a Buckler here. I got a Soul Ring. Buckler is the first part of the Mechanism. Buckler, Headdress, and a mech. Buckler is usually the first thing you buy, and I almost always buy this. The only time I don't buy a Buckler first is when, I really wish he would have waited. I don't know why that guy didn't time-lapse. Maybe he ran out of mana or something, but at least he didn't pause again. I'm sure he tried to, but... the reason you buy Buckler first is because it gives you way more survivability than a Headdress does. It gives you 2 to all stats, and it gives you 5 armor, and you can activate it to give yourself and all your creeps and allies 2 armor. So you can use this while pushing. You can use it to give I gave my my anti-mage, I gave him 2 armor, for example. It's really nice to do, and it's good for pushing. So the Headdress gives you HP regen, it gives you 2 to all stats, and that's it. The armor has way more survivability in the early game. And it's a much better pickup to have, I think. Luckily, I still got the last hit on the tower here, but this is looking a little scary now. Definitely looking scary. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I die here. This would be a good time to, like, buy items. Oh my god, I was slow. Alright, I didn't end up losing any gold, though. See, I didn't pause the game. I still bought items. I knew I was gonna die. Whatever. I stayed way too long, though. I should have let my Eidolon's last hit, and I should have been running the whole time. Leave the anti-mage is what I should have done. I really shouldn't have died there, to be honest. But at least we got the tower, I guess. A little sloppy, but it could have been worse. Definitely grab Black Hole at 6. Max out Demonic Conversion. I've seen some Enigmas go 1-4-1 on the pro level. I'm not a huge fan of this. I assume that they wouldn't do it this game because there's a Weaver. Weaver's a really difficult hero to kill. I must be alt-tabbed right now or something. But Weaver's a very difficult hero to kill, so having more stun duration against him is very good because it prevents him from using time-lapse. Time-lapse is his ultimate. It allows him to go back in time by 5 seconds and heal up to full. So that one time we killed him by the tower, I was a little surprised we killed him there. I thought I was going to have to Black Hole for that. I love what the Doom is doing here. This is really smart. So he's invisible. He has an invisibility rune. He's waiting for Tinker to cast Soul Ring a couple more times. Very cool. He knew that Tinker was farming, and he knew that he was very unlikely to kill him just by himself if Tinker was full HP. So he waited until Tinker used Soul Ring twice and lowered his HP further. That's what that damage thing was. It's the Soul Ring. He casted Soul Ring on himself, and he lowered his HP. It was really smart. Really, really well done by the Doom there. I like that play a lot. But he just waited him out, and then his HP lowered, and he got the easy kill. So that was a big kill by Doom. I'm really glad he did that. It was really smart. Okay, so I got my headdress now. This gives me HP regen. By the way, the only time I'll ever buy a headdress before Buckler is usually if I'm playing offlane Enigma and my HP is lower. If my HP is sitting around half and I'm still using Soul Ring, then usually I'd rather have my HP be full than have an armor item. And headdress is basically a way to guarantee that your survivability is a little higher. I don't remember. I think I stopped. Yeah, I stopped hitting the tower because I didn't want it to get denied. And this is another good reason to have headdress because now I'm taking all this rocket damage and I'm now able to be a little survivable. So I'm just going to take one of the creeps and we're going to force the tower. Just going to force it with right click. So I use Buckler, we get out. We didn't get the last hit because apparently this range creep is amazing, but on the bright side, I'm able to finish my Mechanism if I could finally click it, and that will guarantee me, basically it puts these two items together, it makes an item that allows me to heal, and it completely compensates for my Soul Ring because it gives me 5 HP regen per second. Soul Ring also gives you HP regen per second and compensates for what it does, but I ended up casting Soul Ring here, and I think it was a little early. Yeah, I did. That's why I used Malphus here, because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to Demonic Convert in time, so a bit of a mistake there. But I should be able to fly with my mech now, and this means that I can save my allies. If he would have been fighting him the whole time, like if he just would have stayed still and right-clicked him, he would have gotten that kill, I think. But he started running away. I don't know if he was, maybe he was lasered or something. Our Storm Spirit is really good at being mana conservative. He actually used all of his mana to come from here to here. And he didn't realize that, you know, if he gets there, which he did, he doesn't actually accomplish anything. It's like, okay, well you're here, but now you have no mana, so you can't actually do anything. Spectre's gonna use his ult here. I'm gonna try to save Doom here. I pinged twice to get him to come towards me. And now I might be able to turn this around, we'll see. Oh, that was a hole. Use my dust as well. Alright, good. We end up getting the Spectre out of it. That hole is really good. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that was a really good hole. Basically got a kill on the Spectre. We didn't get anybody else, but I think that was really worth it. Completely worth it. You should basically be using Black Hole in the early game to get kills. And that's what you have to use it for. Use it to get guaranteed kills. If you know that it'll guarantee a kill, you should use it. Because early game, you don't have to worry about team fights as much. Late game, using a Black Hole on one hero is usually not worth it, especially if it's like a support or something like that. But in a pub game, or in any game in the early game, if you can get a kill on somebody before 20 minutes with the Black Hole, you're doing a good job. And you should do that repeatedly if you can. Every time Black Hole's up, go get another kill. Black Hole's up, go get another kill. Because it accelerates your experience, it gives you more gold gain, all that good stuff. It's honestly very, very good. It's nighttime here. That means that they can't see me. I'm going to try to deny this tower. Luckily he wasn't trying very hard, so I was able to deny it. And since it was nighttime, I knew that he wasn't going to know that I was there. Unless they had a ward sitting in this position, I knew that I could stand there safely and just wait until the perfect moment. And he thought nobody was there, so he was like, oh, I'm just going to right-click this. It's going to be just fine. And again, the Storm Spirit using a lot of mana. He's going to get Doom, though. I was able to mech just in time. I think that keeps the Storm alive. Yeah, it does end up keeping him alive. So, I knew that the Lion was very likely to use Finger of Death on the Storm, so I wanted to make sure that he survived. And the best way to do that, of course, was pop the mech. Mech's really important in the early game, and you can't forget about that item because it's a moderate amount of gold. I mean, it's basically all the gold that I farmed in the early game, other than my boots and my soul ring. And it heals 250 HP, and if you look at everybody's HP levels, they're really low right now. It's like a third of everyone's survivability. So if everybody loses 250 HP and I mech, and my opponents don't have the mech, then there's a really good chance that we'll just win a fight. I was gonna try to save the Storm, but it wasn't gonna work, unfortunately. And I wasn't quite within range to stun him. Oh man, if I would have stunned him, you would have died maybe. That's really depressing. I might have misclicked there. Kind of looked like this time when I watched that I should have been able to get him, but didn't look like it happened. So I had that first death, that was a big mistake, and my second death was a moderate mistake, but other than that I think I'm playing pretty well, relatively, this game. Considering the amount of harass we're taking. Net worth, I'm pretty low down there actually. I'm out farming the supports, but I'm actually pretty equivalent to their Spectre, which is really surprising. I guess that's because the Razor did so well in his lane. My EXP per minute is also really low. So I'm a little surprised, but usually it's a lot higher. If you're playing basically like a jungly Enigma and you don't have to worry about anything, then your net worth will at least be middle of the pack, middle to upper of the pack, something like that. But for now, I was really lazy about these camps. By the way, normally you should be careful. Don't let your Eidolons die, especially the first wave, because then when they duplicate, you have 6. It increases your damage a lot, and you can farm a bit faster. So it's important not to mess that up. But I messed it up. I was lazy. Looks like my team is pushing top. I wish I was actually there already. It's really good for Enigma to be there during pushes, so I'm going to send my Eidolons mid. Ooh. Actually, we're going to see a kill happen over here. Should be a deadline. Doom is actually kind of the same boat as Enigma is. You want to actually get as many kills as you can with your ultimate in the early game. So I think the rest of our team ended up dying, so we lost 2 heroes on the rest of the map. But, well, they got a Tinker, it looks like, but if you can get a kill using Doom in the early game, you really should, because once Doom gets late, he's getting really strong. And this guy actually played really well this game. I think he played the best on the team by far, and I think he wasn't even that high of MMR. I think his MMR was actually lower than mine was, if I'm not mistaken, which I was surprised about because he played better than I did. So Doom played really well here. And now I'm putting another Observer Ward up. I just snuck in to go place that one because that's going to protect the Anti-Mage now. Typical ways that Anti-Mage will be ganked is probably going to be this way or through the river, and now the ward will spot it. Now it's, hey, somebody's TPing in, I can see Tinkers coming, you know? He should be able to react to this. When these other 2 heroes come into vision range, oh wow, those heroes are coming to gank. This kind of looks like a smoke. I'm not sure if it is. Let's take a look. Doesn't look like it. But anyways, going to go back to farming. I'm going to break the trees as well with Midnight Pulse. This is a good thing to do. It only costs 95 mana and allows you to walk between camp and camp. Anti-Mage almost has Battle Fury, so I wanted to let him pick up a little farm there, and there it is. His Battle Fury is finished now, and now we have even more farmers. And this is one good thing and one bad thing about our draft. Our draft is something that's called greedy, and God, I'm casting so much like the noob cast right now. It's great. We have a greedy draft, and what that means is that our draft is basically, it has too many farmers. And that's a good thing because it means that if we get late game, our ability to farm is way better than our opponents. Like, for example, an Enigma can farm way better than a Abaddon can. I can farm way faster than a Lion can. I can, like, if we're matching up just farm rates for team, our team can easily outfarm their team. They have a Tinker, they have a Weaver, they have a Spectre. That's 3 heroes that are good at farming. We have 5 heroes. Alright, we have like 4 heroes that are really good at farming and 1 hero that's pretty darn good at farming. And I would say that the only hero that's slower than me is probably a Razor, but generally a Razor will get more farm and can accelerate faster than I can as Enigma. But we basically have 5 heroes that can farm really well, which means that if, let's say, no kills happen for the next 30 minutes, if we're able to exert more map control, or let's imagine that both sides had infinite amounts of resources on them, we should be able to win, basically. Obviously, there's only so many resources on the map, but if we're ever able to, like, if they're farming in any way inefficiently, basically, we're going to win, is what will happen, or at least we'll get more farm than them. So that's a good thing about the greedy lineup. The downside is that there are limited resources, which means our ability to actually get these creeps is kind of low. Like, we can't get them all, essentially. It's just not possible, because there's just not enough places on the map to farm, pretty much. It's looking good for me now because I'm empty in the jungle, but unfortunately I wasted my Eidolons there, and the Weaver killed them all, so I actually can't farm these camps at the moment. So I'm just going to show up to my team. That's what I should be doing right now, to be honest. I should have grabbed the big Alpha Wolf. That was a mistake. You can kill the big one. I just gotta make sure that I micro that away. Ooh, that was close. And another thing that you can do as Enigma that I do a lot actually is I use Eidolons and then I just walk away from them and I keep farming with them. You don't have to be there for the experience. Basically, you can just kind of use them to grab gold while you go and help out your team. Looks like we lost our Doom, unfortunately, but it's fine to do this if you're gonna go do something more important like go push or something. Just spawn Eidolons. By the time you get there, your Eidolons will be up again. This guy ball laning so often. Just wanted to put a Midnight Pulse down here. Fight is looking not good for us. I tried to mech him in time, but it didn't work out, and I think I'm gonna die as well, yeah. So I bought out before I died, again without pausing the game. That was a really bad fight. We ended up losing 4 heroes there for nothing. But that wasn't a very smart team fight initiation. What we probably should have done is we should have just grabbed a smoke maybe and then ran to initiate. I don't know how Doom died in the first place, but it didn't look so good. So we're going to lose a tower from this. If we actually would have just passively farmed, again, like I said, we outfarmed them. So if we actually would have just sat passively in our jungle and they would have sat in their jungle, we would have outfarmed them. But instead we lose 4 heroes because they have pretty darn good team fight. That's another problem with greedy lineups usually, is your team fight is weaker, your ganking is weaker. You're usually good, your heroes that are good at farming basically, not so good at like forcing fights and ganking people and things like that. So in this case, it would have been better if we actually just didn't go push, but we ended up dying, so not good. This game I'm building a pipe immediately after my mech. You could definitely argue that I should get treads first, because what treads do is they upgrade your boots into an item that gives you more HP. It's about 100 more HP. My HP right now looks really bad. It's about 1,000. I usually start feeling safe when it's over 1k. I don't know if that's just based on actual facts or just because that's vaguely how I feel, but it's good to have more than 1,000 HP. Obviously, if I use a mech, I have more than 1,000 HP, but generally you want to mix tanky survivable items with more HP, and it makes you more and more survivable. But anyways, the reason I'm making a pipe this game is because I know that the Spectre is probably going for a Radiance, and Radiance is an item that does magic damage over time wherever Spectre or one of his illusions are standing. So I know that we're going to take a lot of magic damage this game. And they also have a Tinker who does ranged magic damage. They also have a Lion who does magic damage. Abaddon does a little bit of magic damage, but nothing really serious. But essentially what I want to make sure that we can do is survive team fights. And since we don't have a support, I have to be the hard support. I have to buy the support items. I want to make sure that our team wins the fights. And bam, I'm over 1,000 HP. I feel all good now. See what I mean, guys? Look how tanky I am now. But buying a pipe is a really good thing to do. It just makes it also completely counteracts the soaring. Like, watch how fast. I'm regenerating 20 HP per second right now, just from my items alone. It's really, really good regen. Really, really good regen. I decided to farm the Ancients here. This is not something you normally do as an Enigma, but I decided to do it here because, again, we have too many farming heroes, and I can't really go farm the jungle. In most games, I would just go straight to the jungle, but since we have too many farming heroes, I'm just going to do this instead. So, luckily I have enough regen where I can tank these just fine. Those dragons actually do splash damage, so they can kill Eidolons pretty quickly. It's actually very difficult to jungle Ancients normally, unless you get lucky like this. Ooh. I shouldn't have pulled them that way, but it's going to be okay. That looks like it's going to be a dead. See, they have a Radiance right now. There's a little effect I can't show you with my finger, but it's like a little golden sword that appears here, and that means the Radiance buff is affecting you. And again, we get initiated on, and it's not looking good, dudes. Kind of worried about him here, but it looks like he's going to live. My KD is pretty shit this game, 0, 3, and 4. Actually, the bottom of the chart. But here's an example of us out farming them. This is our mid hero. He's actually farming worse than I am. This was that mean guy, by the way. Well, he wasn't mean, he was just very bossy. Their 2 supports are farming below us. These are the 2 heroes that can't farm as quickly as any of our heroes. So, despite us not being in the lead by 3 heroes, I mean, they have 3 cores that are more farmed than us, we still have all these 4 people that are going to farm pretty good and end up contributing a lot throughout the game. I actually don't want to be in the mid lane because I have no idea where their team is. If you look at the map, we've got no wards down because I think they dewarded them or something. God, this guy wastes so much mana. You really shouldn't be wasting mana this much. It's a really big mistake. Because look at his mana regen. He actually doesn't have that much. It's going to take him like, I don't know, 30 seconds to get full mana again. What if a fight starts, you know? All he did was ball there just for the chance of getting a creep wave so that I wouldn't get there first, you know? He's playing Storm really badly. But we've got a ward down now. We can see where they are. So anyways, when I was standing here, I don't want to be there. I just wanted to be safe. Hey, look, that guy just might die. I mech'd him. It's not going to make a difference, so. Looks really bad for our Weaver as well. I'm going to have to stun this guy to slow him down. Trying to save our ally here. That's a dead Razor. I've almost got my pipe though. It's only about 50 more gold. If I can get my pipe, can be better. We can be a lot stronger in team fights basically. Whenever Spectre ulties, I can use my pipe, and what it does is it gives you a magic shield for up to 400 damage. So the Spectre ulti, Radiance Burn, won't do nearly as much damage. The missiles won't do as much damage. I can basically save people with it. It'll be really nice. Alright, there we go. Only other problem with pipe is that it makes your mana pool a bit more limited. I was able to pipe him as well. He ended up surviving. I'm just going to black hole this. This is a bit of a waste because I forgot that he had Aegis, but he respawns here and he's going to go and whatever. I'm going to end up chasing this again. I kind of have to wait for Soul Ring to have any mana. But I do get some experience from this one. And now I might be able to right click this guy down. So even though my survivability isn't super high right now, well, that's not true. My survivability is actually super high right now. This is really dangerous. I think he was TPing out here. We just saw him there, I believe. Or no, actually we didn't. We thought he was over there, I think. But it's okay. We didn't get him. But yeah, my survivability is really high. I'm regenerating 20 HP per second. The missiles all do reduce damage. The laser does pure damage, so I still have to worry about that. But the other stuff isn't that bad. So I can pretty much just stay and fight. The only thing that's kind of limiting me right now is mana pool. If I'm the first person to be initiated on, I will die, most likely. But at least for now, I'm pretty safe. But yeah, mech and pipe are really useful. If I didn't have the mech and the pipe, Doom would have died, you know? He would have died the first time, he would have had to buy back or something. Instead, he was able to come back in the fight and get a bunch more kills. His KDA goes up because he doesn't end up dying from it. Yeah, he didn't die in that fight, and I saved him with the mech, so the pipe was a little unnecessary, but I piped him as well. I was a little worried about missiles hitting him or something like that. Let me check my team's items. Our Razor was really dumb. He acknowledged his mistake. He did really well in the offlane, and he bought a Maelstrom first. You don't buy a damage item on that hero, you buy tank items, because he already has a lot of skills that increase his damage output by a lot. What you do is you buy an Aghanim's, you buy a Mekanism, which I already bought, so you can't buy a mech. He could have bought a Aghanim's, he could have bought a Vanguard, he could have bought... Eggs probably would have been the way to go. He could have gone Sanjin Yasha, for God's sake, and that would have been way better. But a Maelstrom is purely right-click damage. It purely does right-click damage, and he doesn't need it. The tankiest things he has is a Treads and a Bracer. And if he would have gone more tanky, he could have had a better chance of doing well into the mid-game. So he had a really good early game, but after that he did badly. Well, not badly, but you know, it hasn't been nearly the same. So his net worth is now below mine, and he had a triple kill at the start of the game, basically 7-7-4. He's done a lot. So, oh well. So, where do I go from here? There's usually a couple ways that you go after your Mekanism. The pipe was already a bit of a decision. I didn't want to let him have free gold here. Looks like there's a fight happening bottom. Doom's gonna die, that's too bad. But, there's usually two ways that you go after Mekanism. You either get a Blink Dagger, or you get a Black King Bar. This game I decided to get a pipe, which I think was a good pickup, to be completely honest, because it increases my team's chances of winning fights. It's a team fight item. It's important to have team fight items if you're worried about the enemy's team fight. It's definitely better than a Black King Bar. I think if the game's more equal, Black King Bar is the way to go because it allows you to take fights and then win those fights. But I think a pipe is a bit more defensive, and I'd rather be defensive. So I end up grabbing Treads here. Again, I talked about Treads before. If you have a lot of survivability, Treads are really good for increasing your ability to live. And also, if you Tread switch to Intelligence, you can cast. And if you cast, you can have more mana pool is what I mean. So if you have more mana pool and you summon Eidolons on Intreads, it means your mana pool is going to go farther. So this writes two problems. It fixes my lack of HP problem, and number 2, it fixes my lack of mana problem that I'm slightly encountering because of the fact that I have a pipe. And that should be a tinker kill. So, and that's like, it's so good. Pipe is so good. I showed up, I mech'd the storm, I piped him. The laser went through all that damage because it's pure. But if he was going to cast a missile, if he had a heat-seeking missile or something like that, it wouldn't have killed the storm. So as soon as I mech'd him and piped him, there was no way that the tinker was going to get a kill. And then I just follow up. Malefice with a Midnight Pulse is quite a bit of damage. So, if you don't know what Enigma's skills do, by the way, the first one stuns a couple times. Obviously, Demonic Conversion spawns little Eidolons. The third one's Midnight Pulse. It does an AoE on the ground that does 7% of their max HP per second. So it's not a huge nuke, but it's pretty good. So if you have 1000 HP, it does 70 damage per second, that's pretty good actually. That's not bad. That's a good nuke. So usually you cast Malefice and you drop the Midnight Pulse in the direction they're going to run, and it basically guarantees that you get 2 or 3 seconds of damage off, which is not a huge nuke, but it's okay. In terms of team fights, it's really good, especially if you plant it down before you cast Black Hole. Then you end up doing a lot of their HP, like 28%, which is Midnight Pulse. So here's an example of using Soul Ring before I need to. I'm going to switch to Intreads here, and then switch on back again. Again, if you're going to cast a spell, switch to Intreads, so you have more mana to use, and it ends up using a smaller fraction of your mana pool. And then I'll go back to Strength Treads if I'm worried about dying. And this means that my pipe will go farther, because now it resists damage on more of my HP. So, pipe really good. See, this is an example. The entire jungle is cleared. The camps are spawning in about 5 seconds, so I have to sit back a little. But when the camps spawn again, then we can continue farming. But we actually have too many farmers this game. Alright, Spectre using his ulti. Storm Spirit kills Lion. Looks like that might be top. I should have looked and TP'd perhaps. And again, we're going to use the pipe. It's a Midnight Pulse. I should have Black Hole right there. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe should have Black Hole. I don't think Doom was going to die if I didn't go, but I'm glad that I went. We're going to lose that tower again, but that's fine. They used Spectre ulti. They lost a Lion actually in the meantime. So we kind of got some advantage out of that. We're probably going to lose towers anyways. What did the Spectre have? Do you have a heart? Almost. He almost has a heart. Just a really tanky item, basically. Doom made a bit of a mistake there. That's an Orchid. And that should be a Spectre dying. Unfortunately, I just got there. Unfortunately, me and Anti-Mage had the same idea. Both of these abilities stop teleports, so we guaranteed the kill on the Abaddon here. I should have been watching the rest of the fight, I think. Although I was able to mech him last second. I was really close. I think I played that team fight pretty bad, to be honest. I shouldn't have Black Holed the Spectre earlier. Like I almost thought I should here, but I should have realized that Anti-Mage could use his ulti. I didn't think about that. I was like, see, what happened is I had already used my stun. Abaddon's ulti goes off, and what that does is it makes it so any damage he takes, it heals him. So I used my stun. I knew the only way to interrupt his TP was to Black Hole, so I Black Holed to guarantee the kill. But it was just a support hero. It probably wasn't worth doing that. I probably should have saved Black Hole for a core. It's a little late in the game. It's about 35 minutes. I should only use Black Hole and cores usually now. I shouldn't use it to kill a support like that. It's not really worth it. And I ended up wasting it because Anti-Mage had his ulti. His ulti has a mini stun in it, and it goes through Black King Bar and everything, so he had an easy way to interrupt it anyways. So it's definitely a bit of a mistake for me. It's one of those cases where, well, we're going to lose our Anti-Mage, I believe. So anyways, the game is going a lot better now. We've saved a lot of people in team fights. Even still, even though I misused my Black Hole, I should have came back and helped out against the Doom. What probably happened is I look at minimap a lot during team fights now to like figure out where I should be going, and Weaver's invisible a lot, so you don't always see him. And probably the time that I looked at the minimap, I didn't see him alive or something like that, and I just focused a tunnel visioned on Abaddon, which is my bad. Okay, so game's going well. We're increasing our farm. We're winning team fights. We don't have very many towers, but we have a decent amount of towers, and things are going well enough that I want to purchase something greedy. And again, something greedy is something I probably shouldn't buy. What I should probably buy to be safe is either a Blink Dagger or a Black King Bar. If I get a Black King Bar, I become Edgic immune, which means I can channel my Black Hole guaranteed, no matter who's there, and if they stun me, etc. He must have had a ward up. I was watching him here. So I remember that he initiated on me from darkness. It was a little scary for me. But yeah, worst case I can just pipe. So he time lapses to get out. I don't actually know. Oh, he actually found him. I'm sure Storm Spirit wasted a ton of mana to even get to that point, so. There's the item I'm going to buy. I'm going to go for a sheep stick. So it's a greedy item build because sheep is like a 5,000 gold item. It's really expensive. Everything else Enigma buys are small to medium costs. Mecha is 2,300. Blink Dagger is 2,150. Black King Bar is 3,975, I think, right now. So all of the items are less than 4,000 gold. But if you buy a Black King Bar, you're paying 5k, 5.5k or something like that. It's really expensive. But what a hex allows you, a sheep stick or a hex, what it allows you is it gives you a guaranteed lockdown against somebody. And we actually have pretty bad disables this game. We have Doom, which is great. Malefice is okay. Black Hole is fantastic, but Black Hole is kind of hard to land. And we also have the Storm Spirit's Electro Vortex and his Orchid. It's okay-ish disables, but it's not amazing. We could have much better ones, and a hex is a really good disable. I put a sentry down. I did kill a ward there, I think. But I knew that he had an observer ward there because the Weaver initiated on me from darkness. He casted the bugs before I saw him, which meant that he knew I was there because of a ward. So I guessed that the ward was on the high ground. I don't know for sure if it was there. Oh god, this fight. Bad memories, dudes. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna save him. I was so sad about this fight. Really stupid fight. Basically, they knew that they were in there, so the Storm Spirit balled in again. And the Razor followed him, and I tried to back him up. I should have just left him. I need to like recognize when things are really stupid and not go in. And I do stuff like that sometimes as well. But is that an observer ward? No, that was a sentry I placed actually. But we lost the fight. That's 3 dead heroes. That means that we might have to fight soon. Like it's the same principles. We don't have to fight because we have better farmers. Yeah, they're getting a Roshan, but we weren't even set up. We need 5 heroes there for that to work. And we need to kill their vision of us before we initiate. Otherwise, they can initiate on us perfectly. So it was actually like really bad for us to fight that. 3 dead heroes. At least Anti-Mage can split push right now, but all their heroes are mid. So, and I think they're taking a Rex. Quite seems like it. That looks like a dead Rex to me, guys. And yeah, when you lose your barracks, then their creeps are going to push a lot harder, and that's obviously a bad thing. On the bright side, we still can farm fast, but the creeps that spawn from here on out in the mid lane give less gold and less experience. Oh wow, Storm Spirit balling across the map just to farm. No big surprise, guys. Like literally, he just lost half of his gold, half of his mana pool just to get to mid a little faster. Like, it's so silly. So now I'm slightly regretting the fact that I have an ultimate orb. Oh, no, one of the reasons, by the way, I didn't mention this, but one of the reasons why I don't want to get a Blink Dagger is because Radiance Burn hits you every second. And if you take player-based damage, then you can't blink for 3 seconds. So if Spectre ever ulties, I can't blink. It's impossible. Unless I use my Black King Bar and stop getting hit by the illusion. That's the only way. So it's kind of a waste to go for a blink, in some ways, against the Spectre. If you initiate, then it's fine. But if you're being initiated upon, getting a Blink Dagger is a bit of a waste. See, this is another really stupid thing that my team is doing. They're like, oh, there's a hero top, let's gank. And we went every single possible method. And the reason that's stupid is because our opponents probably have an observer. We can see it right here. Our opponents probably have an observer board, and if our entire team runs every single possible way, they guaranteed are going to spot at least one of our heroes running to gank Spectre, and then Spectre will retreat. Like, we haven't used smokes, and that's a symptom of us not having a support hero, is that we've basically been running around all trying to like play cores, pretty much. Cores meaning one of the 3 heroes that farm usually. So, except this game we have 5 cores, which is extremely greedy, but kind of working out this game. That fight was a really big loss, though, by the Roshan pit, because we ended up losing a Rex from it. Lost 3 heroes, lost a Rex. I'm worried about this being a kill here. We actually don't have any detection here. I look pretty dead. I probably should have just black holed on the Weaver. If I would have black holed on the Weaver, then we probably could have killed him. But what the bigger mistake was that Storm wasted his Orchid on the Lincolns. I don't know if we knew he had a Lincolns yet, but if he did know, he definitely made a mistake. I don't like this. His anti-mage always ultimates way too early. Like, he doesn't even hit the guy and he still ultis him. Ah, this fight was really depressing, if I remember quickly. I think he had a butterfly, the Weaver, at this point. He's really hard to hit. It's a buyback from Doom. The Weaver just like kept evading right clicks. Right at the end there. He had an Aegis as well, so it wasn't good for. I don't think it was good for them to fight right there. Was that a dieback? I think it was. I think it was a dieback. Pretty sure. Because he died and then he came back a little faster than I came back. Oops. And I think I was typing here and frustrated because we were going to lose. And I ended up feeding myself. That was really bad. That's like the biggest mistake I made all game. That's literally a tilt death. Like, you can't do that shit. You have to like be careful. I was like absolutely sure that we lost this game, so I started rage typing. I was like, why did we fight? And then I ended up dying as well. I could have been sitting in our base or something and we lose the second racks because of it. What a downer. I think I was telling people why I thought we lost, because they were saying, they're like blaming random people. They were like, dude, anti-mage, how come you got no items? What's wrong, bro? It's like, dude, he had a dual lane. It was like he didn't play it well, but it was a Weaver and a Lion versus a solo anti-mage. Like, of course he doesn't have a lot of farm. And I explained that. And I was like, we lost because like we kept trying to force fights and we did it badly. We forced fights by the ancients and stuff. Like, that's so bad. You shouldn't be doing that. Guess the Weaver ended up dying by storm. I'm almost alive, guys. Alright, and their Weaver bought a Divine Rapier. Dodge the bugs. Got the pipe off. So we want to fight pretty hard, actually. I was like seemed like an easy fight. Oh, did we get the rapier? We did. It's on anti-mage. So the Weaver built a rapier. We got a... God, I forgot that he built a rapier. He built the rapier and we killed him, and now anti-mage has it. I think he must have gotten doomed or something. That must have been what happened. So now we're saying push mid, 3 dead heroes. We gotta try to get a Rax here because we're pretty far behind. Basically. We've actually like not had detection this entire game. Because nobody has slots, basically. Something else that was complained about a lot, I think. I just wanted a black hole to guarantee this kill. It was probably a waste, I think. Yeah, I think that was a waste. I think the guy was going to die anyways, but who knows. I mean, Malphus was on him. God, this guy's such a dick. I had to mute him, so I don't know what he was saying, but he's probably shit-talking. I guess he didn't, because he didn't all chat. I'm not sure what he was paused for. I think we're just trying to finish it and go for everything, because they're about to respawn. Pipe to stop the Spectre, the illusion damage. Should probably mech here, I think. I should have mech, not stunned. Yep. Definitely should have mech'd. Oh, that was a mistake. I used Malphus instead of mech'd. I should have mech'd. If I would have mech'd... I thought we were going to get those two supports really easy, the Lion and the Abaddon. I thought we were going to kill them, 100% for sure. I was like so sure. I was like, oh, we're going to kill these two guys, then they have 5 dead, then we win. But we didn't kill them apparently. They're a little hard to kill. Abaddon's definitely hard to kill. Lion, not so much. Although I should have money. I can definitely buy back here. I think I'm going to have to. I can't remember if I do or not. Alright, here's my buyback. I waited as long as possible because it saves you money. Or saves you respawn time. I'm going to pipe him up here. Mech. Oh my god, there's my mech. God, I waited like last second. Alright, Anti-Mage gets a kill. Anti-Mage is now running. Okay, good, Anti-Mage lived. I didn't completely mess it up. Dude, Hex is good. Dude, Malefice is so good. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god, that's so close. I actually have no way to save him right now. What's this curve? Fly the curve. Oh my god. This game is hilarious. Misclicked a little bit there. I missed a lot of right clicks just now. Man. What a fucking throw. Oh my god. These guys throw it worse than we do. They really do. What a game though. Holy shit. Okay. Let me just recap this. I didn't like think about this while I was playing the game, but like this is what happened. Like, not only did they buy a rapier and lose it when they were going to win the game, like they were going to win the game, right? They had 2 racks. They were coming to push the 3rd. They lost the fight. The Weaver loses 6,000 net worth because he dropped his rapier, okay? That's step 1. Step 2. Spectre just fucking fountain dived me and died to the fountain. He died to the fountain. He died to the fountain, guys. And immediately after that, you know what happened? We won the team fight because Spectre wasn't alive. Spectre is a heart, guys. That means that, like, if he doesn't fight, he's going to hit full HP, which means if he didn't die to the fountain, that guy would have been full HP. And if there's a full HP Spectre in that fight that we barely just won, by the way, there's no way we would have won that fight. 2 huge throws right there. Spectre feeding himself to the fountain just to get an Enigma. Throw number 1. And throw number 2. Buying a rapier. Man. Pubs, man. Alright, so I finished my sheep stick components. I can't buy back, so I might as well spend my gold. I'm finding that out to me now. Or at least I should be. Let's see what net worth our items are like. I think Doom has the, yeah, he's got the rapier right now. That's fine. He's an okay person to have the rapier on. I think, I would maybe rather Anti-Mage have it, but it's good on him as well. So. Unfortunately, we didn't really have an opportunity push because all the lanes were pushed in so far and we had a lot of dead heroes. Maybe we could have, I don't know. I wasn't looking at the map entirely. But I seem to remember that every time that we felt like leaving the base, it wasn't necessarily possible. I was like alt-tabbed or something right here. But now I got a sheep, and sheep is really good for shutting down enemy heroes like Tinker and stuff. Yeah, I was like not paying attention. Got to this fight really late. Looks like Spectre ulti was wasted though. So we got that going for us. So they get Roshan again, they get an Aegis. They got a cheese on Spectre. It's a really good person to have a cheese on. He went for a halberd actually. I'm not sure if I like halberd. Yeah, I don't think I do. I think, well, he should have just gone on Manta. Manta's so much better on Spectre, I think. It's way better on Spectre. Guess you don't know. He doesn't have a diffusal blade. Maybe a halberd is better in this case because there's a lot of right click. Maybe he's right. I'm not entirely sure. All right, always hex Tinker. I should have midnight pulsed him first here, but he's gonna be able to time lapse out of this. But it kept me alive, which I think was okay. have a gem, by the way. Picked it up from them, I think.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Give him the hex. There we go. Why would he give up on that? I'm really confused.
Ancient is under attack.
Alright, good, I got him. Ulti him. Oh, he doesn't have it. He's gonna blink. If the anti-mage would have chased after him after I hexed, he would have gotten that kill, I think. So we win another fight, but everybody's like back up already. I think the Tinker bought back, if I'm not mistaken. At this point in the game, when you have this many disables, time-lapse isn't even that amazing. A gem, at least. If you have gem and a lot of disables. The pull from the storm there was perfect timing. It's like, as soon as he used Sakuchi, just kept him in place. I mean, the Hex has been so useful. I've used it like 3 or 4 times already. It's really, really good late-game item. Now we're going down mid. I actually don't have a TP scroll, so I'm flying one out to me. I'm going to drop my Soul Ring temporarily. The Weaver's only dead for 90 seconds, but this is an okay chance to try to do some damage. Dropping my Soul Ring. Maybe you should just flown the courier to me, I don't know. Because I could have been up there. Yeah, I could have mech'd. I could have healed the... Alright, I didn't. Oh no, he doomed an illusion. I didn't even realize that. I got a TP out. Oh, those neutral creeps almost denied me, guys. I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get denied by neutral as I'm TPing home. I was so mad. But luckily my regen was so high that I survived it. But I had to go back, I think. I'm gonna lose the anti-mage. I think Lion dies here as well. That cheese was so big. If he didn't have that cheese... Oh, that's the rapier back again. Of course, Weaver, the other piece of shit in the game, decides to pause the game and shit talk a little bit. Wow, Storm using all of his mana again to steal farm from somebody. That's the first time I've seen that. I swear. But we gotta defend the racks, and mostly everybody's dead. I gotta sit really far back though, I gotta be careful. Do some damage in their pulse. This is how you should use it. Just put it in a place where their heroes want to stand, basically. Anti-mage buys back, so... Couldn't believe he actually stayed here. This is really... I hexed the Tinker. I was trying to black hole that. Oh, I canceled my black hole there. I fucked up really bad. I casted it and then stopped it. That was really bad. I was just waiting for him. Oh, he did come for me, actually. Luckily I had a buyback. Grab the gem again. They got our Rex, so it's mega creeps. That mech barely kept him alive. I like never seen in this entire game. I've never once seen a good anti-mage ulti. Not one time have I seen a good anti-mage ulti. I've seen like 5 really bad anti-mage ultis. Oh man. If I wouldn't have wasted my black hole, though, we could have won right there, I think. Or at least we would have saved our racks. Alright guys, it's desperation time. I don't have enough to make boots of travel, so I have to sell everything.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant victory.
Oh my god, this game was so fun to play. So many mistakes from both sides, but we ended up winning. But they really should have won that game. We should have won it in the first place, but we had all those bad team fights. And in the Roshan pit, those were so dumb. The Roshan fight, and then, where's the other one that was really bad? That one was bad, but, like, if he just didn't buy a rapier, we wouldn't have won that game, I'm sure. Because how close were all those fights, right? They were so paper thin. So paper thin close, and like Razor barely lived in the fountain when I mech'd him. Just stuff like that. Like the game was so fucking close. It was so close. What a good game though. I hope you guys liked it. It was like less about me talking about late game, but more. I mean, I hope you guys saw the value of the sheep stick though. It literally saved our game multiple times. Like right at the end, Tinker was hitting our racks, and he was gonna chain hex me and kill me. I hexed him instead. I was like, "Sup, dude? You're hexed now." And then I was able to stun him, and then I dropped the Midnight Pulse, and it gave us enough time for our Doom to come back and get the kill. Like. Hex is such a good item. If you use it at the right time on the right heroes, make sure you use it on the right heroes. Use it on, if I look at their team, I should either use it on Tinker, Weaver, or Spectre probably. Or if we're focusing somebody who's already stunned, I could Hex Abaddon to prevent him from healing or shielding somebody. Things like that can work as well. So, yeah, if they just bought better items, well, if they didn't buy a Rapier on Weaver, they would have won this game almost for sure. Weaver is doing really good this game, and he threw away 6,000 gold, so, and gave it to one of our carries instead. So we ended up winning. What a fun game. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys later. See you tomorrow for another video. Bye guys.